so many different things to look at any time of year in the forest here at Hitchcock. One of the things I love to take some time with is just looking at the bark of trees and the different types of lichens that are on the trees. Lichens are such an interesting organism. They're actually a combination of two distinctly different organisms. They're a fungus and an algae living together. And in biology, we would call this a symbiotic relationship, that they both really need each other. And so if you look at this tree here, you see some very interesting color variations. There's a gray lichen. There's some that are kind of, I don't know, yellowish orange. And I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but there's actually some very tiny little cup-like structures in there. And those have a beautiful name called apothecia. And those are actually spore-bearing structures of the lichen. I think a lot of people probably confuse lichens with mosses. They'll say moss grows on trees, but when you really understand the biology of it, they're actually an important part of the ecological balance of a forest or anywhere where the lichens grow, because they secrete an acid, and the acid kind of breaks down the substrata, whether they live on rocks or whether they live on trees. And that's kind of a soil building property that lichens have. So lichens come in different kind of forms. This one here represents a form that's more what we call foliose. If you think of foliage, it looks kind of like leaves. And then there's a crusty one called crustose. And then there's one that's really kind of fun. It's called fruticose. And they grow almost like there's little stems, and oh, they're just gorgeous. There's one called British Soldiers that has red caps. It's just phenomenally beautiful. If you were ever to talk to some of my college students, they would know that Ron Cisar loves lichens. I took a whole semester of it in college, so not a whole lot of people could say that.